The Wi-Fi is hidden. The reason why it's hidden is because we want to be secure. We don't want to be found. So what you actually have to do is add a network, add a new network, and you have to actually type in all these wonderful jumbled up letters. GHLTDISGA01-data. And then when you open up your new browser, it will ask you to accept there's some sort of verification. You will see it's Cisco or something like that. You should be able, after you accept the button, you should be able to pull the internet.
And there will be another screen that says log in to something else, but don't worry about that. That's just for VPN access.
You can just put that in browser. And you shouldn't be browsing, you should be listening to me. Make sure. Well, welcome back. I know some people here, but I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Christina Linga, and I am the user experience lead here at Georgia.gov Interactive. And the people who know me very well will tell you that I am very good with analogy. I have analogies for everything. So I'm going to start my talk with one. And I also have a swag. Anybody can tell me where this is? Michael.
The chapel at Callaway Gardens.
Hooray!
Yay!
You will win this. Yay! But we're going to give you the proper size. So if you, after my talk is done, you can find Pooja. She'll find you a proper size. This is the chapel at Callaway Gardens. My family and I went there last spring on a weekend. And as we were leaving the premise, I realized I've left my sunglasses in there. My husband was like, well, you know, it doesn't hurt. You can just try calling them. So we did. We called the main line, and we said, you know, we left our sunglasses. So on our way back to Atlanta, because the garden was closed by the time we called them back, they said, we found your sunglasses. It was some sort of guard that called us back. We found your sunglasses. We're like, well, we're halfway to Atlanta. That's okay. That was sad. That was my favorite sunglasses. I love those sunglasses. And then Monday came, and then we got a phone call from them. And they said, what's your address? We're going to mail you your sunglasses. I'm like, you serious? You're going to mail me my sunglasses back? Okay. And I was even joking with my husband. I said, you know, by the time that sunglasses get to me, it's probably going to be in 20 different pieces, you know. All the screws are going to be like somewhere else, you know, in Athens or whatnot. That's just my pessimistic. And then, 2 days later, I get this. It has Callaway Garden on it, in a nice little package and box. And inside of it is this. Packing peanuts. Well, you can't really see, you have to dig into it. But my sunglasses were in there. Wrapped in the bubble wrap. Okay? I mean, my mind was blown away. I've never gotten anything like this from Amazon. I mean, have you? I haven't. I mean, they didn't do a good job as this, and you pay for it. This is something you got for free. Wow. Right? Amazing. So as I look back, what makes it so amazing is because Callaway Garden empathized with me. And they were able to give me the best customer service, right? And why is that? Because they put my convenience first, right? They didn't ask me, you know, next time you come around, it'll be in the lost and found section. Just come and see us. It'll be there. They just mail it to you. It shows up in your doorstep. They understand me. You know, she called back. I mean, if you were just like some random sunglasses, you're like, oh, somebody would probably just swipe it, forget about it, and be gone. But they understand me. This probably is important to this lady. Because she called back and said, where are my sunglasses? And most importantly is this. They didn't even once ask me any type of questions. Are you a member with us? How often did you visit us? What type of sunglasses were they? Are they Oakley? Are they Ray-Ban? Luckily it wasn't because, I mean, it was just some cheap factory store sunglasses that I love. Right? Best customer service. All these items. And I can show you what is the total opposite of best customer service on the web. Do you want to see what it looks like? It's this. Have you seen this? How many of you have seen this? You've seen this so many times. Okay? Can you see it all from the back? Yeah? Requirements, requirements, requirements. This site is best viewed with resolution of 800 by 600 and supports Microsoft Internet Explorer 6, Netscape 7, Firefox 1, blah, 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 blah. Oh, modem connection, by the way. And you have to also have JavaScript pop-ups, yeah? Just in case, just in case. Requirements. Unnecessary ones. I'm going to show you something. You think this is bad? Wait until you see this. Bam! The online ordering system is currently only compatible with Microsoft Internet Explorer. And this is bad. Why? Because this is from a restaurant. I was hungry. I want to order something from them. And I'm on a Macintosh. I'm on an Apple. They don't have Internet Explorer. But please continue to be hungry. So no food for me. You're like, oh, okay, you know, this is not us. This is not us. I want to show you something that is DCH here. Hi. This is not you. You did a good job. Good job. But I'm going to show you something that is very close to home, okay? Do you know what this is? Correct. This is the open enrollment. In the few months, all of us here are going to go here and register. So we can say what kind of insurance we want, what kind of health insurance we want. This is great. Looks great. All those photos, happy people, smiling. They're happy they're signing into the insurance. Oh, but by the way, look at on the bottom. Requirements, requirements. A compatible web browser and Adobe Flash Player are required to access this portal. The minimum supported system requirements are Windows 7, Vista, XP, Internet Explorer, blah, blah, blah. Apple OS 10. What are these? These are all desktop. So I can tell you right now, don't even bother to try to register on your iPad. It's not going to work. iPad's not playing Flash. You're not meeting the minimum requirements. Again, this is unnecessary. So you listen to Nikhil's talk and talk about that. All these requirements are desktop only. You just won't do it anymore. Our reality is very different now. This is our reality. And I'm not even scratching the surface here. I mean, look at all this stuff. What if you're accessing the website from a Kindle? Can you get a good experience? What about all this little, I'm trying to figure out what this little three things on the bottom, what is that?
Raspberry Pi, maybe?
Yeah. I'm like, what is that? Yeah, I mean, this is the reality now. We're no longer just talking about desktop requirements. This is it. So how do we solve these challenges? Well, it turned out that our challenge was pretty much the same as Callaway Garden. We want to put users' convenience first, right? Of course. We want to understand our users. And we don't want to impose unnecessary requirements. So what are the questions that you will ask in relationship of customer relationship and your website? It might be this. Well, people are not using desktop only, right? So what does your website's going to look on a tablet and a phone? Or phablet or tab phone, whatever. And are you providing a good customer experience? So enter responsive web design. You'll probably hear this, bits and pieces of this. This is the URL, and after all this event is done, we're going to publish all the slides so you can go back and look at this link if you want to actually read the article. It looks like this, the article. This is an article that was written in 2010, May, by a web designer developer in Boston, and his name is Ethan Marcotte. So in this article, he outlined a technique that allows dynamic presentations to websites. He said, well, we shouldn't design the web with fixed canvas in mind. Fixed canvas means desktop only. We shouldn't design the web like that anymore. It's different. And here's the article about responsive web design. If you see, that's Ethan Marcotte on the left. We actually had a chance to meet the guy. Very brilliant, very humble, very super, super nice. So we're very thankful to be able to meet this guy. He said, I want you to pay attention to the top left where it says, the web's moved beyond the desktop and it's not looking back. Of course, this is no news for you because we've been saying this forever, right? And you probably can't see this because it got cut off. But on the right, on the bottom right, he said, the unique thing about web design is the amount of control we surrender to the people who view our work. And if you want to know how much of an explosion this technique is, this is a quote from the designer of Disney.com. He said, responsive design should no longer be considered a special feature. It's how any self-respecting website should behave in 2012. So this is from last year. This is what he said. So what is the thinking behind responsive web design? Well, like we said, not for desktop anymore. You have to consider devices with small screens, like phones, tablets, phablets. And this is a very important quote I want you to remember. You don't get to decide which device your customer uses to access the internet, to look at your website. They get to choose. They have the control. So what are the ways of delivering content to mobile devices? Some people use separate mobile sites. I'm pretty sure you have seen this, like Bank of America. It looks like that. And if you notice On the right, it might be small, but there's this thing that says full site. This is the mobile version. What does it mean? It means this is not the whole thing. They cut some things off. In short, well, mobile is not desktop. I want everything that is available on the desktop, on the mobile too. So here is the definition of responsive web design from Wikipedia. It says, it provides an optimal viewing experience. It allows easy reading and navigation with minimum resizing, panning, scrolling. You know, when you're on a mobile, sometimes you'll like squeeze here, squeeze there, you know, swipe here, swipe there. So this will allow minimum resizing, panning, and scrolling. And will encompass across a wide range of devices. So how is it done? Most websites have two main components. They have HTML and CSS. We usually call the CSS as presentation layer. And I liken this, like me and my analogy, you know, I have to have one. Like a cupcake. You have this HTML, which is the cake part, and you have the CSS, which is the icing part. And together, they provide you a delicious experience, right? I mean, cupcake without an icing is just a muffin. Who wants a muffin? You want a cupcake. Well, this is a muffin. This is CNN.com, HTML only. So you see, you're like, wait a minute, that doesn't look like CNN.com. Well, this is it. This is just the cake part of CNN. There's no icing on it. You know, it's just one long document of a jumble of words. And this is the CNN that you're familiar with, the cupcake. You know, it has the colors, the layout, everything is where they're supposed to be. You know, you read that top part and then maybe you look at, oh, that's Claire Danes. Did she win an Emmy? Did she win an Emmy? Maybe she did. You know, stuff like that. So the presentation layer are responsible, you can see the difference, right? The presentation layer is usually responsible for things like color, font sizes, what kind of font it is, the layout, how many columns, where things are supposed to go, where images are supposed to go. That's a presentation layer. So responsive web design falls in this layer. On top of the font, color, and all those information that makes your website looks nice and basically gives the look and feel of the website, they add another thing that would detect device width. It's basically just a bunch of conditionals that says if device is X, use Y. If device is X, width is X, use Y. This seems very small, but the user suddenly don't have to do anything anymore. It automatically knows this device, what you're looking the website from is X. So give him the Y layout. And I'm going to show you the demo, and I need my sidekick to actually do it. How many of you have been to Georgia.gov, the new one? Little? Just that much? Come on, guys. You gotta go to Georgia.gov. So what I'm going to show you, as Nikhil was saying, this is our test. This is our test, our first site that we developed using responsive web design. What you're seeing now is the layout. If I access it from a regular desktop, you will see things like navigation on the top, where the orange part is. There's navigation on the top, and there's the search box on the top, and on the right, there's popular topics. And I'm going to scroll down so you can kind of see what it looks like. Well, here's the icon, you know, and there's this blog area where it says this week in Georgia.gov, most viewed agencies, and on the bottom, there's the footer. So I'm going to scroll back up. If device width is X, then do Y. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the width smaller, and you can see the change happens right in front of your eyes. Now watch what happens if the width is getting smaller. So we're enlightened this if we're accessing this from a mobile phone, where the device width is tiny. Watch what happens. You know, suddenly your navigation is gone, the search box is on the top, and all the column has become one. Everything stacked on top of each other. And a lot of thought has gone into this. We're not just, you know, oh, let's just throw the spaghetti on the wall and see what sticks. No, a lot of thought has gone into this. You see the navigation on the mobile resolution has moved to the bottom because we observe that people, when they're accessing Georgia.gov, when they're using their cell phone, they don't want to browse around. They don't have a mouse, and they probably have a certain task that they need to do fast. So what happens is that we put the search on the top. The search box is the first thing that you see after Georgia.gov. And the navigation is actually on the bottom, because that's what people want to see. They want to see the search box first when they're on mobile. Now, what I'm about to show you, it is so exciting, I cannot begin to tell you. I have can I have 2 swags? Yeah, 2 swags. Who can tell me what theme this is? Nobody? Nobody? No swags for you. This is our friendly one theme. We had turned this, your regular theme, into a responsive theme. How exciting is that? I'm so pumped. This is the desktop version of your theme. And you know, you probably will notice it's kind of similar to some of yours, right? But it looks just, you know, it looks normal, nothing happens, right? But, so I want you to be familiar with, you know, the layout. There's a search box out there, there's a navigation, you know, you're familiar with this. There's 3 columns. This is just a demo site. You know, keep going down and you'll see all the footer. So what happens, I'm going to pretend that I'm accessing this from a tablet. So I am going to scroll up, and I'm going to make the width smaller because, you know, tablets have smaller width. I want you to watch what happens. Watch what happens on the top. Navigation is gone. What happened to the navigation? That's right. We added 2 icons. And this is kind of inside joke. We call this hamburger icon. So if you in the future you'll hear us, the hamburger icon. That's it. There's a hamburger icon and the search icon. So, and you also notice You notice the columns are narrower? They're not as big anymore. And the footer might still look the same. And I'm going to scroll back up, and I'm going to show you what happens if I click on the hamburger icon. Boom! The navigation shows up. So this is where the navigation is. Like what I was saying earlier, we want to conserve the small real estate that people have in their, mobile devices. So now the navigation looks like this. And if you click on the search bubble is shown. Now watch, I'm going to do some kind of magic again and make this even smaller. So this is going to be your mobile layout. Everything suddenly becomes just one column. Everything stacks on top of each other in order of importance. And we're going to talk about that later. So why is it like this? Why are you doing it like this? Well, you might think that, of course, you have to conserve some real estate on the small space, right? But even we put so much consideration into everything that goes into it. The navigation that you just saw, the one with the drop box, we had made that comfortable height-wise for your finger to touch it. It's not just, some random numbers that we come up with, 15. No. That's based on the research. How big are the human fingers to touch? And we have made that into consideration. So a lot of these things that you see today, a lot of thought has gone into it. And you will see things are suddenly bigger. Because on the phone, everything is so small. You want to pinch and zoom and swipe right and swipe right. It's just too much. We want them to be comfortable. We want to think about our users first. So everything is made to be bigger, more comfortable reading. When they're on the phone, maybe they're driving. Don't do that. But we want them to be comfortable. Now we're going to put this a little bit for a short period of time at demo.georgia.gov. So you can kind of see, play around, make it smaller, make it bigger, access it from your cell phone and such. I'm going to continue. So what does it mean? What does it all mean for website owners like yourself? Well, it means there's only one website. You see that changes. I didn't go to different place. It's the same place. You only see one website with different layout. So there's only one website, not a separate mobile site and a separate desktop site. And there's only one place to maintain your content, the place that you always go to maintain your content. And this is huge. You know why this is huge? Because we are struggling even maintaining just one. Can you imagine if we have two? You have to remember, make change to this part, also make change to this part. So there might be a lot of errors. This is big. We only have to maintain one place. And what does it mean for us, Georgia Gov Interactive? We're able to give you only one set of code. We only have to maintain just one. You don't have to spend so much time, doing this one and then doing that one. Everything is double. No. So everything is just one set of code. It saves us time. It saves us money. And what does this all mean for your website users? You're putting control in their hands. Remember, I said earlier, they get to choose. They have the control. And you're saving your customers time and resources. There's no more desktop only for optimal viewing. And after all that, you induce good mood for them to complete their task. Because why? They don't have to go to the library. Or they don't have to go to some neighbor's house. Can I borrow your desktop? I gotta do this form thing. They just in their convenience, doing and completing their task, saving them time and resources. So the truth is, if Callaway Garden didn't send me back my sunglasses, you know, they didn't lose anything. They don't have to pay stamps or anything. But they might not gain anything. But since they did, guess what? I became a member. And this is my annual pass. They were so nice to me. I was so touched. I'll give them my money, happily. And I even forgive them for misspelling my last name. So I want you to go home today, think about this. There's always an opportunity for good customer service. You know, on the web, on customer facing, there's always an opportunity for that. And we feel, Georgia.gov Interactive feel, that responsive web design is just one of this avenues. Now, after like all of this talk, this is just our part. Layout, the theme. That's just our part. It's just half of the battle. And half of the other battle is going to be yours. And we want you to be as excited as we are. This is big. Not a lot of states are doing this. This is a good opportunity for us. So I want you to empathize. Your website is not just a website. Think about your user. You want them to send them off, and you want them to be happy and well. And that would be the end of my talk. Thank you. Anybody has any questions? Oh, yes. Somebody's gonna.
I'm just curious what you're using as a framework for your design.
What framework?
Like Bootstrap, Foundation,
So we're in the Drupal platform. The main, I'm going to be a little bit technical here, so for those of you who are not interested, please ignore us. So in Drupal, in the Drupal world, the main responsive theme is called the Omega theme. And guess who's doing the theme? It's the guy named Jake Strong. Jake Strong, am I pronouncing it right? Jake Strong. And so this is the guy who did the Omega theme for the main Drupal, okay? Main Drupal community. And I don't know if you're excited as I am, but I'm excited. Guess who's going to be doing yours? The same guy, Jake Strong. We somehow were able to snatch him, and we're able to say, hey, can you help us out a little bit? So he is now in development, and he's going to be developing. How awesome is that? He's the main guy. But so yes, to answer your question, is we're using Drupal, and Drupal is using the Omega theme as the back, the framework. It's developed by Jake Strong, and he is going to be the one who's developing it or in development. Yeah. Any other questions? No? So it's time for lunch. Yay. I don't know what the choices are.
Out in the hall, meat sandwiches, there's some veggie sandwiches as well. You can see the signs, drinks, chips, and cookies. Go help yourself. We'll probably move